Hello everyone, today I'll be talking about resection of stomach by Billroth 1 and Billroth 2. First we'll know what resection is. Resection is removal of part of an organ, in this case it is stomach. It is done in cases of carcinoma, large callus ulcer, sometimes in extreme obesity. It is a relative indication. First method is Billroth 1. In this, a part of the stomach is removed and it is anastomosed with duodenum. It is an end-to-end anastomosis. The first step is placing the patient under narcosis and the surgical approach is midline laparotomy. Then the gastrohepatic and gastrocolic ligaments are divided and the ligation of right and left gastroepiploic artery and ligation of the right gastric artery is done, and the opening of gastrohepatic ligament is done and it is divided between two clamps. Next is the mobilization of duodenum by Kocher's method, as you can see in the picture. After that, the ligation of the left gastric artery is done. Before the ligation, a clamp is placed on the duodenum, first portion of duodenum, and an artery clamp is placed on the pylorus, and the duodenum is divided. Then the left gastric artery is ligated. After the ligation, a artery clamp is placed on the portion adjoining the greater curvature, and another is placed on the portion of stomach adjoining the lesser curvature. These two lie in such a way that they cover the entire circumference of the stomach, and then a ceremuscular suture line is made between duodenum and the portion of stomach which embraces the greater curvature. After that, an intestinal clamp with rubber tubing is applied to the stomach behind the sutured line, and the closing of upper portion of the stomach is done, as you can see here in the picture. Then after that, the suturing is done. First is the mucosa stitching of both the anterior and posterior lips of stomach and duodenum, and then a serous suture is applied on the stomach and duodenum, and then after that the suture is continued further upward to cover the upper portion of stomach, and after that V-shaped suture is done between junction of the upper and lower angles of the stomach and duodenum to reinforce it. Next method is the Billroth 2. In this, part of the stomach is removed and it is anastomosed with the side of jejunum. It is an end-to-side anastomosis. Then several modifications exist in which we can see two limbs. First limb is the afferent limb, in which the upstream limb with the duodenum and the ampulla of Werther as its origin, and the efferent limb with the downstream limb with ileocecal valve axis ending. It may be anticecal or retrocecal. Anti if the jejunum lies anterior to transverse colon, and retro if it lies posterior to transverse colon. The first modification is the Hofmeister modification, in which the initial steps are the same as Billroth 1. Then after that, we will divide the the duodenum from the stomach by placing a pair clamp. Then after that, as you can see here in the picture, the cut end of the duodenum is sutured by over the clamp method to the pancreatic capsule and causing it to lie retroperitoneally. Then after that, the ligation of the left gastric artery is done and the transverse colon is cut and the jejunal loop is drawn out so that it lies in such a way that the proximal end of the jejunum is close to lesser curvature and distal end is close to greater curvature, and the both jejunum and stomach are attached by interrupted suture. After that, an intestinal clamp is placed on stomach and on jejunum behind the ceremuscular suture line. Then the stomach is cut below the pair clamp. After that, an incision is made on the mucosa of jejunum. And then after that, the openings of the two are sutured together. Here in the picture, this part is sutured to the walls, and in this, the 1/3 part, the lumens are connected Next pontification is the Brown modification, which is the same as Billroth-2. The difference is that the apparent and efferent limbs are anastomos, as you can see. Next is the Polya method, in which the entire circumference of the occult stomach is anastomos to the side of loop of jejunum. Next is the Roux-en-Y anastomosis, in which it is an end-to-end anastomosis. You can see two limbs. First limb is the proximal segment of stomach and the distal part of small bowel, and the next is the cut part of the stomach and the remaining duodenum, which is anastomosed to the jejunum. In this, the bile passes to the below-pancreatic limb and the food is passed to the Roux limb. And due to these two methods, Billroth-1 and Billroth-2, some complications may occur like dumping syndrome, apparent limb syndrome. Dumping syndrome happens when the limb within the food passes through fast to the GIT, causing some symptoms like weakness, dizziness, vertigo, etc. Thank you.